Okay guys, welcome back. Dr. H here with another GCSE revision video, and today I'm going to be talking about audience targeting in Doctor Strange and I, Daniel Blake. If you watch this video, you're absolutely positively guaranteed to get a grade 9. Not a guarantee. So the first thing to talk about is the difference between audience appeal and audience targeting. Audience appeal refers to whatever is in the product that may appeal to an audience, any audience. But audience targeting refers to deliberate strategies that were undertaken by the media makers in an attempt to engage a specific target audience. So let's begin by looking at Doctor Strange. We could talk about a specific demographic, perhaps, of 16 to 35-year-old males. The story is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and has its basis in comics, which are associated with geeky teenagers and young men. However, far more interesting than looking at the demographics of a film like Doctor Strange is thinking about the psychographics. Psychographics involves breaking people down by personality type, and there's a whole load of personality types out there that you can refer to. One useful control group is mainstreamers, people who like whatever everyone else likes. They go with the flow, they don't make waves, and they tend to follow trends. On the flip side of that coin are niche audiences like aspirers, succeeders, reformers, and explorers. And it's this last group of explorers that I think Doctor Strange really aims at. So explorers are excited by travel, going on journeys, new destinations, and new experiences. And the trailer deliberately includes a lot of these things in order to excite this audience. We have the mysterious, as evoked by the echoey voiceover at the start of the trailer.
Stephen Strange.
We have several world travel destinations including New York, Kathmandu, and even other dimensions. There's even the voyage of discovery suggested by astral projection and the line,
Teach me.
Doctor Strange is a big budget movie. It's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which in the last few years has dominated the top spots at the box office. A big budget film requires a big name star, and the casting of Brandlespot Cabbage Patch is no exception. In fact, if we look at several posters for Doctor Strange, we will see Binklebunch Custard Snatch's name appears before anyone else's, including the name of the character that the film is about, Doctor Strange. Whilst the film Doctor Strange certainly aims at the niche of explorers, because it is a big budget film existing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it also holds a fairly mainstream appeal. The way in which it targets its mainstream audience is through spectacle. Spectacle refers to anything that's visually impressive, like the mirror dimension, the magical effects, the particle effects, and anything else that they may have ripped off from Christopher Nolan's Inception. One of the issues that Doctor Strange faced with its audience targeting was the idea of whitewashing. This is the character of the Ancient One, as portrayed by Tilda Swinton. However, this is the Ancient One in the comics. Notice the difference? This is not the first example of big-budget films replacing ethnically diverse characters with white actors in a process known as whitewashing. Examples include Jake Gyllenhaal in The Prince of Persia, Aladdin, whose face was based on Tom Cruise, and Tonto from The Lone Ranger. All Disney films, incidentally. Another high-profile example concerns the recasting of Major Bendiomo in Hellboy. The role was originally given to white British actor Ed Skrein, who was later replaced by the Asian-American Daniel Dae Kim. This is far more in keeping with the character of Bendiomo, who is himself Asian-American. Now let's take a look at the other focus film for this unit, I, Daniel Blake. This is an indie film, and as such traditionally aims at a niche audience. In this case, the audience seems to be reformers, those people with the interest and power in British politics, able to make the sorts of social changes required.
Monumental farce, isn't it? Looking for non-existent jobs.
Audiences from social grades ABC1 are targeted through reference to the film's festival success at both the Cannes Film Festival and Sundance Film Festival, which are independent film festivals. However, secondary audiences of C2, D and E mainstreamers are targeted by using social identification. This is a part of the uses and gratifications theory, whereby audiences identify with a character or idea with whom they can personally relate. Daniel Blake is an older, white male living in the north of England who is down on his luck and out of work. As he negotiates the nebulous intricacies of the UK welfare system, he is repeatedly crushed down by the system, in what is one of the film's great binary oppositions.
This isn't your concern. I want you to get out as well.
Whilst the character of Daniel Blake is supposed to be something of an everyman with whom every man can relate, the character of Katie offers something to audiences in the south of England as well.
They couldn't give you anywhere near your family?
No, not in London.
The film has a great northern appeal, being set in the northeast and featuring largely a north of England cast and northern English accents.
I'm just going round in circles.
However, the character of Katie, who's moved up from London, offers something for southern audiences as well. It is also through the character of Katie that we can see the binary opposition of the system versus the people. The inclusion of this scene here within the trailer deliberately positions the audience on the side of Katie as she is wrongly and falsely accused by the security guard of shoplifting.
I
can lock the door and call the police if that's what you'd like.
Talking about locking the door and calling the police.
Okay.
What the trailer doesn't tell you, and something that you'd only learn from watching the film, is that in this scene she is actually guilty of shoplifting. This information is left out for two reasons. First of all, it would ruin the surprise for the audience who are going to go and see the film. Secondly, it might prejudice audiences against the character of Katie, making them less likely to identify with her, and so less likely to go and see the film.
You've done amazing.
The two films I, Daniel Blake and Doctor Strange couldn't be more different. On the one hand, we have big budget, mainstream spectacle, and on the other hand, we have an independent niche film about social activism. Whilst Marvel and their parent company Disney can afford to throw money at the marketing of their film, everywhere from buses to cinemas to YouTube to merchandise, it would seem the face of Bendyditch Crumblethatch is everywhere. I, Daniel Blake, on the other hand, relies on much more grassroots marketing. Key quotations from the film were projected on the side of buildings, including the Houses of Parliament. The film played off the reputation of director Ken Loach, who was well known for his British social realism films, and the film even managed to ride the early success of Jeremy Corbyn and the Momentum movement. Corbyn in fact asked the then Prime Minister Theresa May, whose government had brought in these social welfare changes, if she had even seen the film. To this day, she has not responded. So in summary, the two films target their two audiences very differently. The big budget tells an overarching story as part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and its advertising is everywhere. On the other hand, the indie film plays on people's indignation and outrage at the way in which Daniel Blake is treated. Thanks for listening, guys.